In politics, a single decision can define you, and for Keir Starmer, that moment may already have arrived. A shocking new poll has just been released, and it paints a devastating picture. Viewers, let me take you inside the numbers. When voters were asked to name anything Labour has actually done since Starmer took office last year, one decision towered over all the rest. Not a policy triumph. Not a major reform. But the controversial call to strip universal entitlement to the winter fuel payment. Means testing the benefit, which millions of pensioners relied on, was the action that stuck most powerfully in the public memory for 24% of respondents. This is the moment that scarred Labour's reputation. Think about that. For generations, parties are remembered for bold promises or historic betrayals. Starmer? He's framed, nailed in place, by his very first move, the winter fuel payment cuts. And if you're watching right now, ask yourself, was this a necessary reform, or a self-inflicted wound? A Labour MP, who spoke under the cloak of anonymity, didn't mince his words. He said, "I really think the problem he's got, and what's fatal for him, is unfortunately we are framed by the very first thing he did, which was the winter fuel payment, means testing. The problem is both Keir and Rachel are wired into that. Fatal." His own MP called it that. And it wasn't the only black mark. 12% of voters faulted Labour for failing to stop the small boat crossings. 10% named the hike in national insurance. Each one cutting deeper into the party's claim of competence. The MP added, damningly, this decision and the hike in national insurance were self-inflicted wounds which have left Sir Keir's premiership in a death spiral. A death spiral. Think about those words. Even when the government U-turned in June, promising pensioners with incomes of £35,000 or under would get winter support, the damage was done. The public had already written the cut into their memory. And now, the whispers of rebellion are growing louder. The unnamed Labour MP predicted outright that new MPs will turn on Starmer after next year's elections. His words are chilling. After May, when we lose council seats, when we lose Wales, when Scotland slips again, the pressure for him to go will be huge then. The knives are being sharpened. Slowly. Silently. Sharpened from within. But here's the twist. The poll threw Starmer one lifeline, not love for his leadership, but distrust of the alternatives. When pitted against the Conservatives' Kemi Badenoch, 30% still chose Starmer, just ahead of Badenoch's 23%. Against Nigel Farage, the electorate split right down the line, 39% to Starmer, 39% to Farage. Stalemate. So here's the mystery, is Starmer holding on not because of strength, but because voters simply cannot stomach anyone else? What do you think? Is Starmer's leadership already in its death spiral, or is this just another storm Labour will weather? Join the conversation below, I really want to hear your views. And if you want the truth, unfiltered and untamed, hit that subscribe button right now. Smash like if you value honest talk about Britain's future, and share this video to keep the debate alive. Because make no mistake, history is being written right now. And the question for every Briton is simple. Will Keir Starmer survive, or will his own decision bring him down? Stay tuned.